Alright folks, welcome to another beer review, and today we're going back over to Sureshot and we're taking a look at Dunblobbin, which is a double dry hopped IPA, clocking in at 6.5% ABV. Blobby IPA, double dry blobbed with Simcoe blobs at a blob of blob per litre, blobby blobby aroma blob, blobby blob, apricot and blobfruit, blobby blobby blob, earthy pine, blobby blobby. And of course, paying a rather sterling tribute to Mr. Blobby, long before Noel Edmonds became a complete and utter psychopath. And I just love that artwork. If Sureshot don't make some sort of merch related to this, I would be very, very upset, because that's just absolutely fantastic. Even like Dunblobbin glassware would be wonderful. But hey ho, it is what it is. And this has been doing the rounds as of recording this. By the time this video probably won't get uploaded, because the channel's just a lost cause at this point by the looks of it. People will have long moved on to whatever is doing the rounds at the time of viewing. But yeah, picked this up from Northern Beer Temple and picked up a few beers. Just did a little bit of an order. Picked Adam up some beers as well. He's just not long since dropped some nice German and European lagers off, as well as make your own pretzel kit. So yeah, so I saw that they had cans of this and I'd seen it being paraded on social media. So I thought I'll pick up a can, because I like Sureshot. I've had some pretty damn good stuff from them. So yeah, links to both Sureshot and Northern Beer Temple will potentially be in the description. I can't make any promises like that, because I've done an absolutely awful job of keeping this channel going. I've uploaded videos, but they're being mislabeled. They've not got any information in the description. You've got a plethora of very ugly thumbnails of me. And no, I won't stoop to the levels of making a self-deprecating Mr. Blobby style reference. So fear not, people who worry about my mental state on YouTube. But anyway, beer in the glass then, and lo and behold, it's a nice peachy hazy number with just shy of 2 fingers worth of a nice bubbly white head. It gets a little bit more sort of chalkier at the shaft of the glass. I love this glass. This glass shape is wonderful. It's no Taku, but it's sort of like, love the Tubo style glasses, then the Craftmasters, then the Takus. But who cares about my preference in glassware? So it's certainly looking the part. Exactly what you expect. I say this every time I do a New England hazy style IPA. So let's see what we get on the nose. It's peaches and apricot. A little bit of a melon-like character coming through. It's got those soft, sweet tones to it. Maybe like the peel of an orange that's being discarded on a plate. Nice level of sweetness coming through. There's almost even a little bit of a coconut element coming through. It's tropical in that sense, but it's not mango-y or anything like that. Oh, I usually dip my nose in it, but I actually got my moustache, or a feeble attempt of growing a moustache. Oh man, that smells really damn good. Just, I was going to say oozing, but that's not really the action of oozing. Oozing would be like whereas it's, even the dog outside is getting pissed off with me. Let's give it a taste. Cheers, folks. All that sweetness and softness you get on the nose doesn't really come out in the taste at all. It's very dank, very piney. Earthy, resiny. There's like a little soft, sweet edge there, but nowhere near as what the nose would lead you to believe. It's a little bit more citrusy on the taste. Very much a grapefruit-like bitterness on the back end. But yeah, it is very earthy. Dank. It's a very dank IPA. Don't know what hops are in this. There's a subtle sprinkling of what tastes like coconut coming through. It's nice though, but part of me was expecting to maybe be a little bit more flavoursome. It's like making out that I'm saying it's like dull and it's boring. It's far from it. It's got a passion fruit twang to it. That sort of fruit. The peaches come through. Definitely got a legitimate peachy flavour. But there's almost like a herbaceous element in there as well. Nice smooth mouthfeel. Yeah, it's pretty damn good. But it has this, the only way I can describe it is it's got this almost old school element to it, which I can't put my finger on, nor can I put it into coherent words. But yeah, it's a very solidly brewed IPA. Not the most exciting, but you know, I'm not always expecting to be like slapped around the face when it comes to every single beer that I try. And Sureshot got a consistent, don't want to say prolific, I don't think they're at that stage yet, but there's a really solid continuous output from Sureshot. I wish I'd have picked up the bitter, because I could imagine that, especially with, is it James Clay who has Sureshot? Or is James Clay? James Clay isn't that an importer? I don't know, you know what I'm talking about. You know, he's involved in Cloudwater, been in the industry for ages. So it would have been, I don't know why I didn't pick up a bitter, because you know I like a good bitter. And yeah, and I think I touched upon this like earlier this year when I reviewed a couple of beers. Predominantly, and I think this is what a lot of like new craft breweries have to do, just because the big sellers, is they have to put out a vast array of hop forward contemporary beers. And once you've got the revenue coming in, the reputation, that's when you can start sort of like broadening your, you know, styles. So you don't just get lumped in as another IPA brewery, because it does get a little bit boring and tiresome, even though I say it all the time. Probably the most common sort of styles of beer that I buy whether it be from bottle shops, web shops, breweries directly. Always seems to be pales, IPAs, doubles, triples. Do you know what I mean? Just because they're so damn drinkable, really. And I think, yeah, you've got to sort of like, especially with the fact there are so many breweries now churning out beers like this, you've got to get out there and brew a lot of this sort of stuff as a new brewery, I would imagine, to get a foothold in the industry and to get your name out there and to get people coming back and drinking your beer. But I think this is, I don't want to be down on this beer because there's no reason to be down on the beer at all. It's a tasty, well-brewed, satisfying drinking experience. But I think it's a victim of people clocking on to the artwork and making something of it that it's not, really. But at the same time, I can imagine that this beer has sold quite well, really. And this is just me theorising. But with artwork like that, it really shows you that you need a good sort of like interesting, unique brand identity in such a highly contested yet collaborative market and industry. A lot of the times it doesn't work, but at the same time, if this was sat on the shelf next to a little bit more of a reined in can label, you're probably gonna gravitate more to picking this can up than next to, you know, whatever the other can is. Do you know what I mean? And it plays a big part in it. Plus, you know, Sureshot have got these really cool curvy labels as well, and they've got a good logo. So, you know, they've got it nailed in terms of how they present their beers. And from what I've heard, you know, they're brewing really damn good beers. Are they up there with one of my favourite breweries at the moment? Probably not. But again, that can all change. There are some breweries that I never used to be really that big of a fan of, that I absolutely will go out my way to buy, you know, as many of their beers as I possibly can. And yeah, I've realised I say when I extend the A on and, I do that quite a lot and it sounds fucking stupid. Same when I go, but anyway. It's good. I enjoy it. But I think I've had better from Sureshot. I've had what I would consider better IPAs from other breweries in the past few months. But someone could drink this and think it's the best thing since sliced bread, or the best beer that's out at the moment. That's the great thing about it. But do you know what I mean? I like Sureshot a lot. As someone who has those sort of like creative tendencies, I do gravitate towards the breweries that have the slightly more eye-catching artwork. I mean, bit controversial that I'm going to say now, Track, for me, arguably one of the best breweries in the country. Their artwork isn't always that great. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, they've got a unique presence in the beer market. They've got the reputation of brewing great beers. This is starting to turn into a bit of a discussion because I don't like talking about other breweries when they're not involved in the beer that I'm reviewing in question. Do you know what I mean? But it's a Manchester brewery. Manchester, a great beer city, great beer heritage. And I don't think Sureshot would be too upset Not that they'll probably ever watch this, because why would they subject themselves to watching a clueless drink a beer review? But yeah, do you know, it is what it is. I mean, like, I'll just say it. I think Cloudwater's sort of photographic rebrand doesn't always work. It can sometimes be a little bit too busy, especially with the choice of the handwritten font. Sort of clashes with the photograph sometimes. But yeah, Sureshot, I'll be buying plenty of beers in the future. But I think this is good. It's a good beer. It's not just an okay beer. It's far from being a boring or a bad beer. But at the same time, it's not an amazing beer. And I'm okay with that. Anyway, so if you've tried it and you've got something out of it that I didn't, or if you didn't like it, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. What are some of your favourite beers that you've had from Sureshot? I have to have a look at what merchandise they offer, because I've noticed that whenever a new brewery comes around, when I go to the web shop, before I look at the beers, I see what merchandise is available. And yeah, it is what it is. And I think that video beer review's done. So yeah, go check out Sureshot. Go check out Northern Beer Temple. If you're ever in the Wigan area, or maybe you have to get the train to either Wigan Walgate or Northwestern to get another train to your destination, you've got a bit of time to kill. If you know you're going to be in the area for about half an hour to an hour, while you're on the train, put yourself an order through Northern Beer Temple's website for click and collect. Go visit the shop. There's a chance you'll probably see something in the fridges that you want to kind of add to your order, so you'll buy more beer. And yeah, or if you're in the area, you probably, you know, buy from Northern Beer Temple anyway. But I would highly recommend it. It's a great shop. John's a lovely guy, and I should be doing a lot more and visiting a lot more. And I've just realised I haven't got the tripod set properly. Not that it matters, because I thought this would be like a cool backdrop. I've got an irreversible poster, and I've got a couple of Keith Haring pieces there, and then Enter the Void. But I don't have a location in this house where I could have a cool little setup to shoot videos. It always comes across as really, but mind you, I kind of like the sort of like no fucks given, lo-fi DIY sort of aesthetic. Anyway, shut the fuck up. So yeah, go check out Sureshot, go check out Northern Beer Temple, and yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this beer. And you'll probably see this review months after the initial release of the beer itself, because to the untrained eye, well, not just the untrained eye, to anyone who stumbles across this channel, has probably been subscribed for a long time, you'd think that this channel is dead. But yeah, anyway, how many times do I make comments about the situation that the channel's in? You only have a finite amount of time on this planet. Do yourselves a favour, unsubscribe, go outside, or watch someone who does this much better than I do. And yeah, take care, stay safe, and I shall see you all later.